every time we hear from somebody that's worked on something Marvel Studios, there is always a lot of praise, confusion, but also praise tossed at Marvel Studios. They definitely have a very different way of approaching projects. This latest one is a mixture of both praise and confusion, specifically praising Kevin Feige as an absolute genius, but also the process of making anything, which we know is scattershot. By now, I think most of you are pretty well aware of how Marvel Studios operates in a weird way. You have people that are writing the thing that aren't talking to people that are the showrunner, that aren't really talking to the director, that are also talking to Kevin Feige individually, that are also talking to other directors that don't know that they're talking to the other people. It just seems to be this giant tangled web of communication where nobody really talks to anybody in regards to what the full picture is, besides Kevin Feige. He seems to know what the full picture is. In a recent interview with The Direct, one of the editors of Moon Knight specifically talked about how he joined the project, talking about how it was crazy, how it was one of these things where he was interested in all the MCU content, from Endgame to Black Widow and Spider-Man, and he got the job and suddenly gotta watch everything. You got 2 weeks, go, get working on it. And he knew very little in regards to what's going to be happening. I'm going to be editing this. Okay, here we go. And he specifically talks about how Kevin Feige is the producer of everything and what a great experience it is to be able to talk to him and have him there and be able to reach out to him, and he just comes back to you with whatever answer you need. And obviously, we've talked about this before and heard about it. Sometimes it can take them a week. But you can ask the most obscure thing, and Kevin Feige's like, I'll get back to you with that. Yeah, I'll make sure we can use that coat of red paint on this wall. It might be owned by somebody. And then he comes back, he's like, okay, use one shade darker. Sure, like, it's crazy, right? But it's this type of process that Marvel Studios has that no other studio seems to have, where everything's disconnected and everybody's working individually, but somehow they all work together and it still makes sense, and it's through the mind of Kevin Feige. And he even says this is one of the things where he's important in regards to everything. The editing bay, the visual effects, the on-set stuff. And he just says the guy's like a genius because he's been able to figure this out. And it just works. And the quality is all there. So, again, you constantly hear about this. Everybody just says, you don't understand how much Kevin Feige does on a day-to-day basis and how he's able to balance all of this. But I guess, the proof is in the pudding, and the pudding is constant quality output and the Eternals.